This episode is brought to you by
JG
Graybill!
Woo! Now enjoy the episode. Welcome back to episode 146. Parker, what are you about to say?
Well, I mean, I can't really say anything else now. I mean, I don't have a pirate voice, but...
Okay, that was a pirate voice? I mean, I guess
that was. I definitely took that as a pirate voice.
Okay.
What were you thinking it was in your head?
Just a weird voice. I didn't really have a name to the face.
Oh.
Or face, I don't know.
You didn't have a name to the voice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you know how you'll hear that voice, like you hear Morgan Freeman and you know it's Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, that was a Morgan Freeman impression?
No, that's not what I'm saying, but it's like, sometimes you can just put a name to the voice. I couldn't do that.
Like you hear someone say arg in a raspy voice, you think pirate.
Yeah, but I didn't say arg.
Yeah, but you said it in that tone.
Okay.
I could have, when you were speaking in that voice, I was expecting you to say arg.
Me too.
Because of the tone of the voice.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
All right, quick start, episode 146. We're going to get right into it because we have a lot of interesting stuff. Parker got an email from the NBA.
I did. So, some context. I reached out to Adam Silver.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. And so I said...
Well, how did you find his email?
Oh, well,
Is it good?
Someone leaked it in a photo. Who was it? I don't remember. Do you remember?
You said it was an NBA player.
It was an NBA player.
Posted something.
Yeah, leaked his email and his phone number, but they blurred out the phone number. So I sent him an email. And so here's what it said. Hey, Adam, me and my friend thought of a genius idea to increase revenue and profits for the NBA. Here it is. So we started off with hot, you know? Mm-hmm. And then we had bullet points. Instead of one owner, the public can buy stock in the team. The team can be publicly traded on a type of stock market. Everyone who owns a share of the team can be involved in the decision-making process. It would be easiest with a new expansion team, ideally in Seattle or Louisville. Here are the pros, and then bullet points. Yeah. Increased revenue and big fan base, increased fan involvement in the NBA, jumpstart on the future of ownership in sports. Players' values increase, and an owner isn't some billionaire, it's fans who care. So basically the whole premise is like, instead of one billionaire owner owning a team, like the Philadelphia 76ers, like the fans would own the team.
The Green Bay Packers model, where they don't have an owner.
Exactly.
And the fans.
But then they would also be involved in the decision making too. Some cons is that we said there's red tape and hurdles at the beginning, increased time for decision making, and there's one more if I could just, and a boom or bust plan. Okay. So then, about a day later, I checked my email again. So it could have been immediate. It could have been, I don't know how long it took.
That's a quick turnaround time.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Ashley, the NBA coordinator of the NBA, responded to me.
The NBA coordinator of the NBA.
The coordinator of the NBA.
That's like basically Adam Silver's like personal secretary, assistant.
Exactly.
Person.
Yeah.
Just crazy.
And she said, "Dear Parker and Aiden, thank you for sharing."
Aiden's the other guy in Parker's.
Yeah. So I sent the email.
Yeah.
But I CC'd Aiden.
Yeah.
And she said, "Thank you for sharing your ideas about NBA expansion and team ownership with Commissioner Silver. We receive many suggestions from thoughtful fans like the two of you and appreciate the effort you put into developing your ideas."
I still can't tell which way this is going to go.
NBA teams are, of course, privately owned, but we will keep your feedback in mind. Additionally, regarding expansion, while Seattle and Louisville are terrific cities with passionate fan bases and rich basketball histories, we are currently focused on the overall health and competitiveness of our existing 30 teams. Thanks again for taking the time to write and for being fans of the NBA. Sincerely, Ashley, NBA coordinator. So, she kind of shut down the idea.
Great on the fence answer, though. She mostly shut it down, but she was like, we're going to think about it.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
That was a great answer,
They're never going to talk about it ever again.
She said, we are currently focused on the overall health and competitiveness of the 30 teams. So currently, they're not going to expand.
Currently could be today. Currently could be this month. Currently could be this season. Who knows?
But 5 to 10 years, we could be seeing Louisville and Seattle possibly as cities, and that's because of this level.
And we could see, because no one else has emailed them about there being a team in Seattle.
Yep. And I mean, hey, They said that they're privately owned now, but they're going to keep the feedback in mind.
So when that changes, that's the credit to Parker.
Yeah.
Oh
You
yeah.
got that one.
But we will keep your feedback in mind. My feedback.
Not
in
anyone
mind.
else's.
Not anybody else's. My feedback. They're keeping it in their mind.
I'm just glad that they didn't send you like some like automated response.
Oh yeah, no, this is
Like
definitely
they
not
actually,
automated.
you can tell that they definitely.
It's
knew
definitely
what
not
your
No,
email
automated.
they
was
get
about.
approached with those
It
two
was great.
cities and those ideas every single day. It's definitely automated.
No, that was
there's two
specific.
different
It's
paragraphs.
a joke.
Okay,
Oh.
sorry. Well, because like Seattle, like people have been talking about bringing an NBA team back to Seattle for a long time.
I don't know how many people have
'Cause-
directly emailed them about
Yeah.
it, but they've heard about it.
It's definitely been a thing ever
Yeah.
since the Seattle Supersonics. 2006?
They left. Yeah.
They left.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's been
Where'd
over
they go?
15 years.
Oklahoma City.
They became the Thunder. Yeah, Kevin Durant was drafted by the Seattle Supersonics, but then he played one season,
One season.
and then they became the Thunder.
Yeah.
So
So then
was Russ their first draft pick
I think so.
as the Thunder?
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes sense. So yeah, the Seattle's still like a viable option. So they're a team that could become an expansion team if they were to create the Seattle Supersonics, but then you
What
have
a
to add
name, the
another team
Supersonics.
because if you add one team, it's an uneven number. Supersonics, I don't.
That's
know.
why I mentioned
It's
Louisville.
an interesting
because,
name.
I've been to Louisville. I went to the game at the KFC Yum Center, and it was rocking. Like that game, it was a college game, Louisville game. Because my aunt used to go to college there, so we went with her. And yeah, that place was fun atmosphere. So
Yeah.
they definitely have basketball fans in Louisville. So
They could definitely support a team.
yeah,
It's
definitely.
just
And it's a big city. Like
What would their name be?
the Louisville Losers. No, the Louisville
Nope.
Sluggers. The
Nope.
the Louisville.
Cardinals. No,
No,
we can't
that's
do that.
the college
The
team.
Louisville.
Lug nuts.
I don't know. The Louisville
It doesn't have to start with
Kraken.
an L.
That just got taken.
How many?
The Louisville Supersonics. That would be
Oh.
funny.
That would be
They fake them out.
hilarious.
The Supersonics are back, everyone.
That would
They're
be
in
funny.
Louisville,
I
not
would-
Seattle.
I would like that. I'd vote for that. As long as it's not the Commanders.
Or the the most generic name you can go with is Wildcats. I think never
Yeah.
do Wildcats
Never
with a
do that.
professional
Wild
team.
Dogs. The Louisville Wild Dogs.
What if it?
Louisville Bulldogs.
The Louisville Leopards.
The Louisville
Yeah.
Crazy
and, then,
Cats.
and then they could have no, that would be
Louisville
sick.
Leopards.
And
The
then-
alliteration names are always
And
good.
then they have the coolest uniforms.
They could have pretty
Ever,
sick
because
names.
they have
leopard print
leopard-
uniforms.
That would be like phenomenal.
We're geniuses.
Yes. Okay. Now I need to email them about this.
So
Follow up.
about that team in Louisville.
Well, no. If there ever is, I'm gonna email them.
Well,
Say, here's a team name idea. You need to do this. Like,
We're gonna make a video called Parker emails the NBA every day for 30 days. And it's just a different topic that's like each one is kind of connected to the other, but it's like a really flimsy connection, and he just starts harassing them, and we see how long it takes for
starts
Ashley
naming
to break.
like freshmen in high school as prospects to draft.
yeah.
Like when you draft 7 years
Yeah,
later.
this guy Miguel Pena. He's
There you go.
the big his next big thing.
Oh, man.
Definitely don't know him.
Drop the regulations and just turn players into Kobe again.
As you send more emails, you start acting like Ashley's like actually your friend or something.
Yeah, hey Ash.
You want to go meet for coffee?
It's me again.
You want to go meet for coffee in a few days so we can discuss more ideas?
Oh, that's so funny.
Hey, I'll see you at 10 today.
How you doing? Yeah.
How's the family?
Man, how's the husband? You know, I heard that he was doing great at his job. You know, like investment banker. You know, I heard that's interesting stuff. You know, like how's it going?
Anyway, Seattle. Yeah, that would be. It's like, why is this kid just keep emailing us? See how long it takes for them to just like change the email address to
Yeah.
get rid of you.
And then they start giving me a job, like that I should work at the NBA.
Yeah, that's true. It goes one way or the other.
Yeah.
Either your persistence pays off, or you get shunned by Ashley and
Yeah,
Adam
yeah.
Silver. Because that's Howie Roseman did that. Like he wrote letters to every single NFL team when he came out of college, like just to become an intern. And the Eagles didn't even accept him at first, but then he just like kept contacting them and like faxing them and calling their owner, and eventually he was like, fine, you can have like an unpaid internship. And that was how Howie Roseman got in the door. So you could be the next Howie well, I don't know if you want to be the next Howie
no,
Roseman.
no, don't.
You could follow the Howie Roseman method and do it better.
Okay. Yeah,
Improved Howie Roseman.
Yeah.
Give me the next time.
Be a good Howie Roseman.
Yeah. Better Howie Roseman.
The best Howie Roseman.
Yeah. Speaking of Howie Roseman, the NFL draft is almost upon us, and we haven't talked about it at all. This is our last episode before the NFL draft. And last year, we were all over the NFL draft. Huge deal.
Yeah.
We didn't know if the Eagles were going to take a quarterback or not. Last year,
We
we
still
were coming off of the Jalen Reagor, Jalen Hurts draft. And so we were terrified that Howie was going to mess it up again. And then, as you all know, we have the great video of us losing our minds when the Eagles traded with the Cowboys to move up to number 10 to get Devontae Smith.
That was a win-win trade because Micah
It was.
Parsons is also a beast.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say win-win trade for us because Micah Parsons is also trash, but he's really not because he's insane.
Win-win us and the Cowboys.
Yeah,
We each won.
Yeah.
So this year, technically, is an even bigger draft for the Eagles because they had 3 first-round picks, which is just impressive maneuvering by Howie. The one from our trade with the Dolphins in the 2021 draft where we were at like 8 and we moved up and then we moved back. It was a crazy series of moves that Howie made that I don't remember, but we got the Dolphins' first-round pick somehow out of that. And then we also got the Colts' first-round pick because we traded Carson Wentz. And
What a great job he did in
fleeced them there.
Indianapolis.
We made the
And
playoffs.
then we have our own pick.
They didn't. That's all you need to know.
And then he traded.
Got the first-round pick.
And then he got traded.
Now he's back in our division, and it's just a great full circle type of thing.
Yep.
And so, 3 first-round picks, and then the Saints traded up like 1 or 2 spots, and gave us their first-round pick next year, plus the one that's lower this year. So we have, I believe, 2 first-round picks this year and 2 first-round picks next year.
And the Saints are probably going to be bad. I mean,
I
they're going to be in the bottom
would
half of
assume.
the league.
Yeah.
So that's going to be another higher level pick.
Which makes this year make or break pretty much for Jalen Hurts, because if he's good, the Eagles will just build around him in next year's draft. And if he's bad, next year's draft is a much better quarterback draft headlined by Alabama quarterback Bryce Young. And so the Eagles could package a couple of picks, trade up, get him if they wanted. So Howie Roseman has set the Eagles up very well. Story of our lives. They're set up well, and then they don't make the right draft pick. But we haven't really talked about it that much. Let's start with the Eagles, and then we'll go broad a bit more. Their 2 picks are both in the teens. I believe they're 15 and 18. I should probably pull this up. But we're looking at wide receiver again. Mm-hmm. It's a loaded wide receiver class. Mm-hmm. Linebacker, defensive back, I think would be the top 3.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, we need a
Think
corner.
they would go with a safety in there at all, or
Kyle Hamilton would be the ideal pick at safety. I don't know if he'll fall to us at 15 because there's a bit of a drop. It's like Kyle Hamilton and then
if he falls to 15, do you think we take him?
Yes, I would.
Yeah,
because Rodney McLeod left.
Too. We need a corner.
Yeah, we need a corner and a safety. We have Darius Slay at safety. I feel like we're a bit weaker just because we don't have any veteran guys or much talent. I would be fine with a corner, but Kyle Hamilton is like the top tier safety, and there's nobody with him. So let's see the Eagles draft picks, just to make sure these are 15 and 18, nailed it. And the draft pick that they traded to the Saints was their own. So the 2 picks they have are the ones that Howie traded for, which is just all the more impressive. And then we also got a 3rd rounder from New Orleans. 2nd and 3rd round is like technically the most important part of the draft, but fans don't know enough and don't care enough. So 1st round is what we're going to be focusing on. But I would probably still be a little scared that Howie will take a quarterback, but I'm not as scared as I was last year.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Right.
Would you go... Obviously, it depends on how the draft board falls, but if Kyle Hamilton isn't available with the 15th pick, are you going wide receiver or linebacker?
Wide receiver.
Or maybe corner?
Wide receiver. There's so
Probably
many
wide receiver.
There's so many wide receivers. They've compared this class to the class with A.J. Brown, and
DK Metcalf,
Justin,
Terry McLaurin.
Or no, not just...
Yep, that was the draft that we also messed up.
If we can get one of those guys, I mean, we're probably gonna pick the wrong one again.
Probably.
But there's a lot of good ones, so I think
So
our
it's
hit
hard to miss.
percentage, our percentage that we get a good guy is gonna be like pretty high. So
Yeah, but even when the obvious choice is right in front of him, Howie still manages to mess up.
Except for last year. So that might have turned the tide a little bit.
true.
We don't know.
Everyone told him to pick Justin Jefferson, though.
Mhm.
And then he picked a trash can.
Yeah,
No.
everybody.
He did.
You remember when we made that video a few years ago about Adam Gase and the trash can?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's Jalen Rager.
No, Jalen Rager's worse than. He's a whole
Yeah.
dump.
He's not even a dumpster. It's like, you know how like the landfills, the dump.
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
what he is.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a bit harsh, but I
Tell me it's not
he's-
deserved.
He's not good. No.
He
You're
single-handedly
better
lost
than
us
him,
2
though.
games.
You're better than him. You can catch a football.
Yeah, I can.
We can all
but
catch
I
a
think he could
football.
also catch a football.
I don't think so.
No,
Just not very well.
I haven't seen it yet.
Like,
I've seen you catch a football. I haven't
It's
seen
one
you
thing
catch
if they're
He
playing.
has 0 catches in his career.
It's one thing if
No,
they play good
he
defense
has
on
some
him,
catches,
but
I haven't seen.
but
him.
like it was wide open. No one was even covering him.
He can't even catch the ball. You can punch it in the air and I'll catch it.
Yeah.
Like a punter can punt it 50 yards, I'll catch it.
I think catching punts is an underrated, very difficult thing to do.
I can do it easy.
I wish we could test that, but I don't
None
know.
of us can punt it.
Yeah, I
50
don't know if we
yards.
have a punter that can punt at an NFL height.
I know a guy named Johnny. His last name isn't Hecker,
Mm.
but his first name is Johnny. So maybe he can punt.
Maybe he could punt like Johnny Hecker.
Maybe he can punt like half of it since they have half the name.
Oh, okay.
Something in 25 yards.
Yeah, and maybe I don't even know how high they go. The height is really the thing,
Yeah.
not the distance. Like they
Right.
get it
Right.
so high, it's very hard to catch.
No, I can
So
easily
no
do it.
different than catching a fly ball.
Yeah.
Oh, it's different. It's like tumbling through the air. Like
be
it's
fine.
harder to track than a baseball.
I can easily do
Or
it.
not harder to track, but like
Yeah.
the movement is more strange
Right,
and
but
unpredictable.
I believe in myself.
I believe
That's
in you too,
been
Parker.
made clear. I believe in you, but not in the fact that you could catch an NFL punt.
All I'm saying is that I'm better than Jalen Rager.
Okay.
And
we'll go
you're
with that.
also better than Jalen Rager. And
With-
Luke's better than Jalen
The
Rager.
15th
What if Jalen Rager and Baker Mayfield had a child? How bad would
Whoa,
that child
the
be?
why? I'm not even answering that question.
football.
It's not
That-
physically possible.
Well, yeah, but like,
What?
if they were sorry, let me rephrase it. If they were combined,
Hypothetically.
if they were combined, would they?
Oh,
be the
that makes
worst,
more sense.
If they would they be the worst football player to ever exist?
Yeah. I mean, at that point, they probably wouldn't be playing football.
Yeah, because they're so bad.
They
What
probably,
if you
wouldn't-
combine Bill Belichick and Andy Reid's physique, though? Wouldn't they be pretty bad at football?
No,
No.
well, they don't play football right now. They're
They're
coaching.
coaches.
Okay. But they used to play football?
Yeah, but they don't anymore. If you combine their current physique and that's
They
not
wouldn't
how
be
that
the worst
works.
football player.
That's
all I'm saying.
literally not how that works.
That's all I'm saying.
Wait, how do we know how it works? It's never been done before.
Luke's suddenly the
I've
authority
made
of
it out.
combining people.
Yeah, Luke
I know
knows-
how it works.
Don't be ridiculous. You can't
Guys,
combine
don't
Andy
go in my
Reid and Bill
basement.
Belichick.
Well, I've already gone in your basement.
Don't go in the back part of my basement.
I've already gone back there too.
Not to the secret tunnel.
The Harry Potter area.
No,
Gone
not
in there, too.
There's a secret tunnel.
Yeah, it goes to my house.
Well, yeah, but if you go past my house, it goes the other way too. There's a little door.
Oh, is there?
Yeah,
Is there Dumbledore? Is he in there?
it's a Dumbledore. Yeah,
Wow.
and I've Gandalf guarding the
Really?
bridge. Yeah, and he says, "You shall not pass if you don't have the proper ID."
Interesting. What's the
That's
proper
really not as intimidating. You will not pass if you don't have the proper ID.
Well, how do we get on this topic?
Luke.
I think
That's my only
You're
answer.
welcome.
Yeah, that's true.
It wasn't really based. It was just Jalen Rager's bad, and Luke was like, you know how I can really emphasize this point? Combining people. What were we? The 15th overall pick. Yeah. The Eagles had 15, 16, and 18. They traded the 16th to the Saints. But yeah, with the 15th pick, I think that because the wide receiver class is so deep, I would take, if Kyle Hamilton's there, take him. If Derek Stingley Jr. is there, the LSU corner, take him. If those two are gone, I'd go linebacker, probably Devin Lloyd from Utah, because with the defensive backs, it's like the tiers are different, where it's Stingley and Sauce Gardner. Sauce is probably going to be gone, unfortunately. And
What a name.
I know.
I know.
His name's actually Ahmad, but they call him Sauce. He didn't give up a single touchdown in his entire collegiate career as a corner.
Wow.
Yeah,
and he
very
played
impressive.
Since a freshman, like he's been playing.
He's on Cincinnati. Yep.
Impressive.
Very impressive. So yeah, corners, there's 2 top guys. Safety, it's Kyle Hamilton by himself. Wide receivers, there's like 4 guys that could end up being the best wide receiver in the class. So I think you use having 2 picks to your advantage. Linebacker, there's Devin Lloyd and also the one Georgia linebacker whose name I'm forgetting. But either way, the top tier is smaller in those, so I would get that guy and then get a wide receiver with your second pick in the first round because it's only 3 picks away.
Right.
So even if like one wide receiver is taken, then maybe. Now, of the wide receivers, do we have a favorite that we would prefer how we draft?
Yeah. Everybody's saying that Alabama guy,
Jameson Williams?
but he just tore his ACL. I don't want to draft another guy with a torn ACL.
What do you mean another?
Well, you remember Ben Simmons.
Did he tear his ACL?
He came in with like a torn ACL. Do you remember that? That's why he got Rookie of the Year like 3 times.
Oh.
Yeah.
What? No, he was.
Do you remember that?
He got Rookie of the Year in like his 3rd NBA season technically because like he was out the whole first year.
Right.
And then he like didn't play enough games to qualify the 2nd year.
Right.
And then 3rd year he stole it from Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah. So that's why I don't want to draft a guy with an ACL because it reminds me of Ben Simmons.
PTSD. Yeah.
I mean, everybody has an ACL. I mean, a torn ACL. I definitely want to draft a guy with an ACL.
That's 2 ACLs, preferably.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And an MCL.
But
Both of them.
And a
not a
PCL.
torn one.
Yep.
So I would just stay away from him. That's my insight.
Okay. I was going to go the exact opposite way. I think Jameson Williams is the perfect candidate because I think he's the best receiver, and I think he's going to fall because of the ACL injury. So it is riskier, but I think that the value is better because, other teams will be a bit scared, and so he might fall farther than he should. Drake London, I think, is a little bit overrated because Drake speaking of PTSD, Drake London scares me because he's like the big 50-50 ball guy who's going to go up and get it.
Right.
And that's what we were told J.J. Arcega-Whiteside was going to be. So that scares me. The last time I was told, yeah, this guy's going to be great. He's going to get all the jump balls, big guy. I'm worried about that type of receiver. Also, just that style of receiver seems to be less important at this point. Like, you'd rather have a route runner or a fast guy than a big guy to go up and get it.
Right. And the superstars...
Well, he's not... Oh, we have a route runner, yeah. We don't necessarily have a burner.
Yeah.
And we have such good tight ends all the time that I'm not sure we need a big 50-50 ball receiver.
The superstars for the wide receivers are either they're always good at running routes. That's like the baseline if you're going to be like a superstar. And it's either you're stronger than the cornerbacks, like I'm thinking A.J. Brown, Deebo Samuel type deal, or DK Metcalf, or you're quicker than them, like acceleration. You don't necessarily need to be faster than them, but I'm thinking like Jamar Chase.
Quicker off the line.
You're quicker than them. Devontae Smith isn't quite there yet with like he is that quicker type. He's not quite there in the stats yet. But yeah, there's like 2 different ways you could go. And those 50-50 guys aren't like the big guys that go up for 50-50 balls don't have a quick burst. And like they're more like the tight end type.
Yeah.
You know, it's
like who are the best
like
50-50
Jared Cook.
wide receivers? It's Mike Williams.
Yeah, right. And Mike Williams isn't a superstar.
And like Devontae Parker. Yeah, it's all like number 2 wide receivers, if that.
Right.
It's never your wide receiver 1.
Yeah, so you like quickness is like, and even A.J. Brown is quick, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like you need to be able to run routes and you need to be able to be quick. So just find a guy that fits that, and also you can like mold him into the player that you want him to be. Like a coachable guy that can take his level, has room to grow and take his level to the or take his play style to the next level.
Yeah.
That's the type of guy you want. So
I wouldn't be devastated if we took Drake London. It's just he's the one that worries me the most of the top 4. The top 4 wide receivers are Jameson Williams, Drake London, and then the 2 Ohio State wide receivers, because their wide receivers have been insane
Right.
as of late, Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson. Of the two of those, I don't really have a preference between the two Ohio
Right.
State guys.
Right,
They're
yeah.
both good first-round picks.
Yeah, so like the Ohio State guys are like, it seems like one of them could probably be a superstar. I don't know which one.
It's like one or the other, but it won't be both.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like I don't I don't know who to draft, honestly. Like they're like both phenomenal guys. And James Wiseman, the counterpoint to my argument earlier is like, or not Wiseman. Why did I say Wiseman?
James Wiseman is a center
I
for the
know.
Warriors.
No, Jamison Williams.
Oh, yeah.
For Alabama. He's who I was trying to talk about. The counterpoint to that is like the Eagles probably aren't going to be phenomenal this year. They might, but I don't see them winning the Super Bowl. Like it's not in my expectations for them. So
Contenders for the division, maybe, but not for the championship.
right. So if we wanted to, we could draft him and give him like most of the year to like get healthy, right? Maybe he plays a couple games towards the end of the season, but then he comes in next year and is like a contributor. So people would probably forget about him, but then he could be really, really good once he's fully healed, and we don't need to rush that timetable.
In which case, I would feel bad for Jalen Hurts because the front office is like, all right, this is
Right.
your year. Here's a first-round pick who's not going to play that much.
Yeah. So that's
that
like
would be
the counter
interesting.
argument. Yeah.
Yeah, Luke, just based on names alone, strictly names, who sounds like they would be the superstar wide receiver of the two, Garrett Wilson or Chris Olave?
Chris Olave.
Chris Olave.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson doesn't sound like a superstar.
So
for some
he's
reason.
probably going to be the superstar.
Yeah.
Why do you
The
think they
reverse
won't
psychology.
be superstars? Is that just like a gut intuition, or like what? Just
Just
generally
like a Jamar Chase thing. He's normally right about this sort of stuff.
No, but I'm curious as to why. Is it because they're coming out of the same school?
No, I said one of them probably will be.
No, I said, but why do you not?
Why
think-
not?
Well,
both.
because the odds that both of them will be like phenomenal is very rare. The only time that has ever happened is like Odell and Jarvis, and even then Jarvis wasn't like Odell at one point was like the Odell mania was crazy. Like he was superstar level.
And DK and AJ Brown too. Like they were both good in college, but DK was
Right.
hurt all the time.
Right.
AJ Brown was okay.
Right. So it's just not. There's not like a
Jalen
huge-
Waddle, Devontae Smith. I mean, they're not.
That's true.
They're young. They've still got plenty of time
Right.
to flourish.
Right. There is guys, but I mean, there's always going to be guys that come out of like Alabama that are like phenomenal.
Yeah.
And like Oklahoma, like it does the same thing with quarterbacks. But like the odds, like it's hard to be a superstar.
Yeah.
And so
That's the takeaway.
so the reason why I said not both of them is just because like
Yeah.
I don't know.
They'll both probably be good. It's
Yeah.
just which one will be elite
Better,
and which
yeah.
one will be like a number 2.
Right.
Or low end number 1.
Yeah.
I think that's the takeaway here. It's really hard to be a superstar, and it's really hard to identify who's going to be a superstar and draft them.
And we do it anyway.
Yeah. Because we can.
Because we can.
This is America, freedom to draft or to theoretically.
Well, it's not really freedom because you're just put in a pool and then a team selects you. You don't get to choose where you go.
No,
A draft
we
freedom
have
would
no
be like
freedom,
free
because
agency.
A draft is initiated by Congress
We have
to
the
like
freedom.
put people in the military.
The owners and general managers have the freedom to draft college
And
kids.
No, I'm saying we have the freedom to talk about it.
Yeah, that's true.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First Amendment.
Yeah. Speaking of football, the Cleveland Browns are elite.
Don't get me started. on the Browns.
Undefeated.
The-
2-0.
Wait, the what? Football season hasn't started yet, Owen.
2-0.
The Cleveland
USFL
Browns.
Nope.
Cleveland Browns.
in trades.
Cleveland Browns.
Browns are undefeated.
The Cleveland Indians.
Nope.
They're baseball.
2-0.
The Guardians are not. They've played more than 2 games.
Cleveland.
The Browns.
Oh,
9
you're
and 10-year-old
football!
flag
Yeah,
football
let's
team.
go!
Oh,
Good work.
Undefeated.
How's your coaching going?
We've I don't actually have to coach that much. 1, because the team is stacked, and 2, because the offensive system we put in place is literally the same formation every time.
Nice. That's good. That's good.
Like we went up the team we played against this last week. They had the armbands and they all had like plays and stuff, and we were like, oh, this is gonna be interesting, and we demolished them. Just because every single time we just have a center, quarterback, running back, 2 wide receivers on each side, and they just so I don't have to do that much. Also, our team is loaded, so I don't have to like help that much because they're all really good. So I don't think it's necessarily that much like I'm just that much of a better coach. It's just our roster is way better. So we won our first game 34-7.
Nice.
And then we won this game 40-something to 6. I don't know what the score was. Our starting quarterback is ridiculously good. We take him out after the first like 3 drives because we score on all of those drives.
Okay.
And then no one else wants to play quarterback. Like we're in the huddle. It's like, all right, guys, who wants to play quarterback? Dane like can't anymore.
Wait, Dane
That's not
Calabretta?
fair. That's not his name.
Oh, okay.
I don't think.
I know a Dane
I'm pretty sure that's
Calabretta.
not his name.
Okay, all right.
And nobody wants to. So like we ended up like I didn't force Edison to, but like Edison did it. We had another kid like decide like fine, I'll do it. But like they're all so reluctant to play quarterback. And then we're like, I can't keep playing Dane. We're gonna just score every time. So
No, you should.
that's
That'd
been no.
That's
People
so
would
bad.
not like that.
Wait, does Dane understand?
That would be running up
Like,
the score. Kind of.
Is he like upset or?
No, at the end of every drive, he would ask if he could play quarterback again, and every time I was like, no. And he wasn't upset about it. He handled it.
Like he
well.
understands why you're saying no.
Like one time, the ref like overheard him asking, and he was like, "Dude, because you're up 26-0." So that was
like, does Dane understand why you're saying no?
I think eventually he got it. He was never like he never had a bad attitude about it. He kept asking like maybe this time. No, okay. Our third string quarterback that we put in, Shane, has a blonde mullet.
Shane and Dane.
Oh.
It's a look. Shane
Blonde
is like
mullet.
the most like energetic one on our team.
Okay.
And he had a real rough first drive, and then his second drive he was like holding the ball too long because there's a 7-second like clock, and if you don't throw it by then, it's like turnover basically, or the play ends. And so it's like we're about halfway. We're at like the 25. Essentially, we're halfway between midfield and the end zone, and it's fourth
you're 25
down.
or they're 25?
Ours. We're close to our end zone, and it's fourth down, and we came back to the huddle and he had like missed somebody, and everybody's like, Shane, I was open. What are you doing? And he's like he was very flustered, and we were like, okay, fourth down, we have to throw it, got to go into the end zone. And Shane's like, okay, takes the snap, and at 6 Mississippi. Puts it perfectly in the corner, touchdown. He was so fired up. It was awesome.
Oh, that's
So-
great.
Yeah, the Browns, undefeated, elite, and I think I prefer to keep it with no context like that.
Nice.
We can all agree that the Browns are amazing. But yeah, the first 2 teams we played weren't like that good.
If you
What
play a
was it,
good
the
team, are you
Eagles?
going to keep in Dane the whole time? At
We
quarterback?
might.
If it's
That's
like within a touchdown.
next week's
Next
matchup
week.
is basically the championship apparently, because the scouting report from the kids, like some of
Yeah.
them are like in the same school and stuff, and they were like, oh, next week we play the Texans and they have Tiago.
Tiago.
You know somebody named Tiago,
Yeah,
and I was
he's
like,
big.
I don't think the kid that you know like in elementary school.
He's like 27.
Okay, no, so that's not
Maybe it's not.
27-year-old
Yeah,
kid.
he's in
No.
elementary school.
So yeah, if that Tiago's on the team we're playing, we're in trouble. But they were like, oh man, the Texans have Tiago and this other kid. And so apparently it's a 4-team league. So that's like the big time matchup.
Okay.
Prime time next week, Sunday night,
What 2 teams have you played?
NBC. It's not actually Sunday night on NBC, but we've played the Bengals and the Cardinals.
Oh.
I don't know how they choose the teams that are in each like age group. But I think they have like most of the teams covered within like all the different age brackets. But yeah, ours is Texans, Browns, Bengals, and Cardinals. You would think if it's groups of 4, you would just do it by division.
Yeah.
Like the NFC East is this group, but I don't know how they do it. So yeah, Texans, Browns, Friday at, I don't even know what our field is called. It's like the Classics soccer fields, but they painted them for football.
Where?
Interesting.
It's
kind
Mannheim?
of near. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is
I
it?
don't know that. But yeah,
Near-
it's going to be packed. So get there when you can,
When is
because
it,
this is
Friday?
essentially the championship game, except that we play them twice, and this is our first time playing them. So
I'll probably be working on
you
Friday.
know,
But
it's a big matchup. Maybe you can watch the live stream.
is there a live stream?
No.
I didn't think so.
I'm trying to pretend like this is actually a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Let me just turn on
2
let me
powerhouse
just turn on
teams.
Fox and
Yeah.
I'll see it.
Yeah. This is like
This is
like the Chiefs versus the Bucks.
like This is like
Hopefully we're the Bucks.
This is like
Or the
That
Chiefs
one
versus
Super Bowl.
Bills game.
Yeah,
This
that's
is-
what this is.
this
That's
is like
better.
LeBron versus the Warriors.
Yep. It's Tiago versus the Browns, though.
Yeah,
It involves a Cleveland team.
very true.
Just saying. There you go.
This
So,
is like
that's the flag
This is like
football
LeBron versus Steph, like when they were born in the same hospital.
They were?
They were both born in the same hospital in Cleveland.
Interesting.
So I don't know what's going on in that hospital.
Yeah, there's got to
but-
be some steroids or something in there. Like, as soon as they're born, just the milk is like spiked a little bit.
I like how Luke's grinning over here as if he didn't have some type of involvement with it in his secret basement lab.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I know all about it.
Looks like my tunnel leads right to that hospital.
Oh my word. We didn't really talk about the draft that much in general. We got stuck on the Eagles. Shocker. The quarterbacks aren't that great, so like the beginning of the draft isn't going to be crazy. There's a couple of like borderline first round guys. One team is going to reach and take a quarterback way too early and everybody's going to go crazy.
It's like that's where the saying came from.
It's a lot of guys in the trenches. What saying?
The saying like, if you reach, I teach in basketball. Like when you
Oh,
reach,
like when you reach and then it's like, oh, that was a mistake. Gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like you're
I've never heard
reaching
that.
for a player. Well, you're gonna
Learn your lesson. I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah. That makes sense. So someone's going to reach for a quarterback. There's going to be a lot of offensive and defensive linemen taken. So it's not going to be the greatest draft, probably.
Is there
unless
any
there's like a
running
bunch of
backs that
trades.
I haven't heard of a single running back that's gonna get taken. In the first round.
There's a couple of running backs that people are excited about. There's the Georgia running back, whose name I don't know. There's the Iowa State running back, whose name is spelled Breece. Is it
Wait.
Breece or Bryce?
Breece.
Because
Breece.
Breece is just
Definitely
a
Breece.
weird
Bryce has an I.
It feels
Or a
like
Y.
yeah, it feels like it shouldn't be pronounced Bryce, but that's like the normal pronunciation. I haven't heard of
No,
anyone
it's
named
definitely
Breece. So the
I
running
mean-
back, I think it's Breece Hall. Breece Hall, I think is the
Bryce Hall.
That's what I was thinking.
exactly. That's why it's confusing.
Gotta
Oh,
be Breece.
No, Bryce Hall is like a famous guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So his name is okay. That's unfortunate.
But
Then.
Bryce Hall's name is spelled with a Y.
Yeah, like normal Bryce, like Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the Iowa State running back. I think is the top
Bryson DeChambeau.
project.
Ooh,
Cook.
that's good.
I think is the Georgia running back's last name. So yeah, the running backs are not getting taken in the first round anymore. Like it happened with Najee Harris with the Steelers last year, and everybody was like mistake, which
And
it wasn't
a
terrible.
mistake. No,
It
what
was
do you
okay.
mean? He was phenomenal.
It was
last
okay.
year.
Yeah, but you don't take them in the first round because like he's gonna be phenomenal for 3 years and then that's it.
But what if he isn't? What if he isn't?
What if he's actually like durable?
Yeah.
Sure, maybe. Yeah.
I
But
saw this thing.
I think it's worth it.
I saw this thing the other day. Speaking of people coming out of the same place and being insane, you guys were just talking about.
Yeah,
Yo,
yeah, I get it. I get it.
Your brothers.
No, definitely not insane. It was there was 3 people. It was Scotty Scheffler, Clayton Kershaw, and one other
Oh,
person
yeah.
that came out of the exact same high school.
Really?
It was another
Matthew
like
Stafford.
superstar. Matthew Stafford. That's
Wait,
who it was.
is this like
Yep.
IMG? Like
No,
is-
it
Apparently.
was.
it's a public school.
Yeah, no, it's a private school. Well, I mean, it sounded like
Like they
private
could have
school.
gone there as like recruiting.
It's a private school in Texas?
Yeah,
Or California.
Texas.
Texas, yeah.
But like, it's just weird because it's like 3 different sports.
Yeah.
It's golf, football, and baseball.
Uh huh.
Took me a little while.
There was
to
a little bit of
process that.
hesitation there.
a little while to process
nailed it.
that. But like, I don't know. That's just cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like those private schools, like IMG, like they have like so many different like sports programs,
Yeah.
like and
MG's crazy.
and so if you want to be like if you are going to be like good, like you go to a school like that.
Like your one friend that's not good but still went there.
No, he's good. Are you talking
Oh.
about?
Didn't you say he's like short and won't make it to the NBA?
I mean, the
What?
odds are not very good. No,
Well, the odds aren't good for anyone.
but hey, he might.
Who
Maybe he
knows? All right, we got to talk about the NBA playoffs briefly. Then we got to try to not do Marvel Minute, but I feel like it's going to happen. So,
Ooh,
NBA
have you
playoffs.
caught up?
I'm not
Whoa. Hold on. The minute has not started yet. Let's not get any extra Marvel talk in before we absolutely have to. The NBA playoffs, the Sixers are killing it.
They could end the
They-
series.
They're
wouldn't-
3-0 right now.
It wouldn't be a big deal if they lost. it would be a great thing if they won because Miami last night lost. So now their series is minimum going to go to 5 games, right? So the Sixers...
So we get that extra day of rest.
We're going to have like a couple extra days minimum.
Give Joel a few days to heal.
His thumb
Exactly.
ligament.
And that happened to a guy on my team, Nick Jagg, and he was able to play through it. Because like your thumb, it's like, I think it's right in this area of your thumb. So
look at me.
Because I figured you would know where thumb ligaments are.
I think it's like right around here.
Yeah, I mean, you've got ligaments all over.
It's around your thumb, right?
Yeah.
If you were to have an injury, I would say that's probably the best one to have. If an injury was inevitable and there was 100% chance you're getting injured.
What about a broken femur?
That seems like the worst one.
A lot worse. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want a broken femur. I would say that's probably like the best.
What about hair loss?
What about a bruise? Hair loss?
If it's something torn or like if you have to tear something.
If you had to tear something on your body or
what about
in
if you
your
tear
body,
your hair?
Luke's really stuck on the hair.
I mean, I don't know.
What if he tore a ligament in his toe?
I think that'd be worse.
better than his thumb?
That'd be
Oh, it would
worse.
be?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because you have to run on your toe.
Ideally you would want your opposite hand. So
it is his right hand.
Yeah.
So it's almost the perfect injury for Embiid to have. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like your thumb's more important than your pinky. I feel like it would have been better if you tore a pinky ligament. I don't know. I don't shoot a basketball, but I feel like I would use my thumb.
No,
more than
because
my pinky.
Your thumb is just kind of like there
when you're
stabilizing.
If your pinky is more involved, I think.
I don't know. I don't often shoot basketballs correctly, so.
Because you shoot a basketball more here than here.
Yeah.
Like for a baseball, that would be worse, and your pinky would be less. With a baseball, it's more situated on the thumb side of your hand. Basketball, it's more situated on the pinky side of your hand.
Ball.
You could, yeah.
But why would you do that?
Well,
not many people.
Yeah, for palming a ball too, you're stretching this ligament out.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's when it's painful is when you're stretching it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense, but
right. But a lot of times you're not going like this, you know.
Okay.
Because that's like where usually you're just like.
What if you broke the bone in your ear?
In your ear?
There's a bone in your ear.
There is no bones in your ear.
It's cartilage.
It's cartilage.
There's one bone in your ear. It's about the size of a grain. It's about the size of a.
I've heard that.
The size of a grain of rice. It's the smallest bone in the human body.
What's it called and what does it do?
Don't know, and I don't know, but I know it's there.
Yeah, this is the time to Google it. While Luke's Googling that, I found a clip from our NBA preview episode, which I would recommend watching because it's very funny how wrong we are about a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Parker said Chris Paul is washed. He said that the Suns are overrated. I said that the Lakers would be a great regular season team, but then fail in the playoffs. Parker was really high on the Hawks. You had them as like the 2 seed. Luke said that the Raptors were going to be the 2 seed, and we laughed at him, and then they were actually pretty close.
In my defense, I just mistake the Hawks for the Grizzlies, okay? Because the Grizzlies were that team. They ended up being that team that was barely made the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then this year they got the 2 seed, right? Mm-hmm. I thought that was going to be the Hawks.
He's got the wrong conference.
Yes, because the Hawks, they weren't like very high up they barely made the playoffs. I think they were the 8 seed. Were they not?
No, they were like the 5 seed. Because they beat the Sixers in the second round.
Yeah. And the Sixers were the 1 seed. Mm-hmm. You're right. They were the 5 seed.
Yeah.
So the Hawks were the 5 seed. They were in the playoffs. I thought they were going to make that next jump.
3 earbuds.
Right. I thought they were going to. They were all young, right? I thought they were going to make the next jump, and be like the 2 seed. Go from the 5 seed to the 2 seed after 1 year. It seemed reasonable, but did not happen, and the Hawks barely made the playoffs again this year.
Yeah.
Rip.
Or this year. So.
Luke has discovered that there are 3 bones in the ear.
Yeah.
So he lied to us, so we'll never be going to him for medical information ever again.
I wouldn't do that in the first
medical
place.
Mastery.
I don't have that.
In medicine.
I don't have that yet.
You can't go to college anymore.
That
they're going to watch this and they're going to reject your application.
Yeah, it's illegal.
That's totally how it works.
I'm so sorry that it had to end this way.
Yeah. At least Marvel's still
all
your
from
true
one little ear bone.
All from the ear. It's your hearing fault.
Yeah, obviously.
It's your ear's fault.
Yeah. Maybe Luke only has one ear bone.
If you couldn't if you couldn't hear, then you wouldn't have known that. Like you wouldn't have heard this false information about one bone, and then you wouldn't have lied. indirectly lied.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. He indirectly lied.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
No clue.
Oh, the NBA playoffs, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Parker also predicted that the Pelicans would beat the Suns in the first round of the playoffs.
It could
Impressive enough
happen.
that he picked the matchup.
Yeah.
And now there's actually a chance.
And there's actually a chance. I already picked the matchup, and this is before the season started, okay? This is preseason. I was like, Suns, Pelicans gonna win.
And you did not mention that Zion would be out and Devin Booker would be out.
Yep. Nope. Didn't need to mention it. I already knew. And so they kind of cancel out a little bit.
Essentially the same.
Essentially the same, right?
I feel like Zion's always out.
He is.
That is accurate.
He hasn't played at all this year.
Yes.
So, but do you see Benson? So, hopefully the Pelicans win. My predictions, right? The odds I'd say are still like 20%, but it's up from 10%.
Their odds have doubled, is the way to phrase it.
Exactly. They have twice the percentage chance. Ben Simmons confirmed coming back for Game 4.
Yep.
What do we think about the Nets' chances now? They're down 2-0 right now. And they could go down 3-0 before Ben Simmons
Who are they
comes
playing
back.
against?
Is Ben Simmons even going to make a difference? The Celtics.
No.
Is he going to make a difference, Owen?
I'm frustrated because I think he's going to come in and the Nets are going to win and Simmons is going to play well. And people are going to be like, oh, Ben Simmons is so amazing. Philadelphia is so dumb. And it's going to look really bad for us. But it's just because the Nets are the perfect situation for Ben, where he's with two of the greatest scorers we've ever seen and he doesn't have to do any of the scoring himself. He can just focus on passing and playing defense and stuff. Whereas with the Sixers, we needed him to do more than that. Like if he's, the Nets are the perfect scenario and environment for him to thrive in. And I think he's going to play really well. And
So
people are going to they're not going to take the context of it at all. They're just going to be like, bad with the Sixers, good with the Nets.
So how many games is he going to play in? Is it going to be one game?
I think he'll finish out the series.
So how many
But
games?
the Nets will only win 2. Celtics win 4 games to 2.
So you think he'll play 3 games?
Yeah.
Game 4, 5, and 6.
Yes.
Interesting. So you think what? Do you think they're gonna lose this? So do you think Brooklyn's gonna win this game? It's Game 3.
Yes.
That's true.
Because
Simmons isn't back yet.
No, he's not back.
That's true.
It's if they go up 3-0, that means that you're expecting the Celtics
You're basically done.
To lose 2 in a row. The Nets to win 2 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
You think that's gonna happen?
I think they could do that. Yeah.
I think it'll be 4-1. I think they're gonna win their first. I think they're gonna win their first game with Ben Simmons. Like Owen said, everyone's gonna go crazy, and then they're just gonna lose.
Okay. I would say they're more likely to win their second game with Ben in. 1, because he's going to be rusty, likely. 2,
Good for him.
Because
Which
of just like chemistry, they haven't played with him at all.
Right.
So the second game, they'll probably do better.
Which means that they would have to win this next game.
Yes. No pressure Nets.
Well, but
It's I don't feel bad for the Nets at all in this scenario. The problem is they're
No,
playing
no.
the Celtics, and we don't like them either. I do love that the semifinals of the East could really be Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Boston, Miami. All like pretty classic teams who don't like each other. It's gonna be great.
yeah.
Great matchups.
And if we play Miami next round, that's the Jimmy Butler. Like Jimmy Butler used to play for the Sixers.
Revenge.
So I could see a Jimmy Butler going off series, which sucks.
Yeah.
But he could totally do it.
I could also see Joel Embiid continuing his redemption steps because first redemption story hits the crazy
Raptors.
buzzer beater in Toronto.
Yep.
Redeems the Kawhi Leonard shot. That was with Jimmy Butler, who then left the Sixers because he didn't like them. So beating Jimmy Butler would kind of redeem that.
And
I
then-
don't know what it against the Celtics. If we play the
Celtics.
Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals, there's all sorts of things that the Sixers have failed
And
with
then-
against the Celtics.
and
And
then
Al
if-
Horford's on the Celtics.
Right. And then if we
Parker's
play
favorite.
if in the championship, if we play the Warriors, like Andre Iguodala,
Yes. He's not with them anymore, is he? Or did he go back to the Warriors?
he's on the Warriors.
He is? Okay. Yeah.
Like right now, he's on the Warriors. He got minutes. I was like, wow.
How?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's redemption stories all the way through. And Embiid's completed 1 of the potential 4.
Yep.
So,
So basically, the Sixers are going to win the championship.
pretty much.
Well, he
I think
hasn't-
that's the way I would take
I mean,
it.
they could come back from 3-0. Toronto. No team has ever done it, but
Ow.
I did the last time
Like
the Sixers.
Kobe's wise words. It's not over.
Until it's over.
The last time
No,
the
he never said
Sixers'
that.
two best players were 28 and 32. It was Dr. J was 28 and Moses Malone was 32. Embiid's 28 and James Harden's 32. They won the championship in 83. They could win it in 2022. Just saying. Although I did say last week how I think they'll win it next year because it's the 76th NBA season.
Or they could just win it both years.
Back to back. Why not? Great point, Luke.
Yeah.
Become the
Yeah.
next dynasty.
Sure.
I like it.
Yeah, we'll do that. So we should probably wrap up.
All right, let's wrap up. Let's wrap up with this one proposition.
Yes, let's do that.
If the 76ers get to a game 7 in the championship in the finals, NBA finals,
NBA Finals? Okay.
or say it's game 6, whatever the last home game of the NBA finals is, we're
It would be game 6 because game 7 would be in the West's
Yeah,
home court.
we're going.
I don't think we're going to it. It's gonna be so expensive.
No, but we sit at the very top. I don't care.
No. I would rather watch
I'd
it
rather
at
save
home
money,
than
yeah.
sit at the very
Yeah,
top
I
for
don't know if I'd rather do
$200.
What? But the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Be experiencing that moment when the Sixers,
Yep.
if it's like they win the championship.
Yep.
Experiencing that moment, it's a
It
once
would
in a
cost
lifetime.
so much money though.
But it's a once in a lifetime experience.
But it would
That's
cost-
like being at the Super Bowl.
So much money.
For
I'd
NBA
rather be at the Super Bowl.
Well, that's football. But I'm saying this is the Super Bowl for the NBA.
It is. I've often called the NBA championship the Super Bowl of the
And,
NBA.
and imagine getting Super Bowl tickets for $200.
Yeah, but that's not
That's-
how it. What?
Yeah. Okay, it's a deal.
No, the
All
Super
right,
Bowl's
let's
one
wrap
and
up
done.
this episode.
The NBA
No.
Finals is a
Let's-
series.
let's wrap up-
That's so much different.
All right, we're wrapping up this episode. We all locked hands, and you saw it on camera. That
No,
we-
you
No,
do
that
not.
did
My
not
hands are right
happen.
here.
Yep,
My
yep.
hands
Look
are
at my
right
hands.
So basically, we're all gonna go to the NBA championship game if it happens.
Never said that.
Game 6 NBA
Nope.
Finals. We're
Nope.
going. Promise you a YouTube video if the Sixers do
Nope.
make it that far.
Don't listen to Parker.
Don't forget to
None of
like.
these promises are real.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on our videos. You can find us at Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iTunes Music Store. Don't forget to check out our YouTube channel and leave a comment and subscribe.
Big week for our circle. We posted a reel of I've been making Sixers 50-second hype videos, literally just using their Instagram clips from the week before. You put them together, throw a song on there. Kel Mitchell, former
Yep.
actor, comedian, now pastor, put that reel on his story. He has over 1 million followers. Win there. Parker getting an email from the NBA. Win there. And then one
I
of
did
our
nothing this
friends
week.
who is an entrepreneur, shout out Paddle Battle, got
Hopefully you'll be seeing more of them later.
$2,500 teaser.
Yep.
They got a $2,500 giant check and got to play ping pong with Avante Maddox at were they at the stadium?
Yeah, they got to
Yeah,
tour it and stuff.
at Lincoln Financial Field.
They got to
So-
tour
Yeah,
the locker room
I
and
mean-
stuff like that.
Big things are happening, guys.
Yes. For real, the reel's been surreal. So see ya.
Episode 146.
Successfully avoided the Marvel Minute. Let's go.
Oh,
Ah,